Hey guys, welcome back to part 3 of the Ultimate Trading Plan. You are on a Greg Secker quest and I hope you're enjoying it as you're going through. Thank you so much for all the comments we've been receiving so far. Thank you for the direct and personal messages too. I really appreciate you guys playing full out and I can see that you guys are really enjoying this process. Now don't forget, go back to day 1, which was what and why. Day 2 was all about how we're gonna do it. You're starting to collect information now that you're gonna be putting into the Ultimate Trading Plan template I'm gonna give you in a couple of days' time. But I want to let you know that the comments that you've put in on day 1, your why, I want all of you to share with us your why. We haven't picked a winner yet, and we're going to pick a winner on day 4. We're going to hand out, as you know, the #1 prize, which is going to be 12-month subscription, over $1,000 worth of SmartCharts license to the lucky winner, which gives you access to all of the tools so you can use it. Today, we are on part 3, which is my favorite part, which is all about mastering your emotions. It's all about mastering the monkey in the cage. It's about the psychology that makes the difference, that actually makes the difference. So I want you to engage. I want you to keep communicating. I want you to share your thoughts and feelings on this. Now listen, as we get into this part of keeping on track and keeping to the plan, remember, following the plan is in direct proportion to your level of success in this area. Deviating from it is in direct proportion to your failure with this process. So how do we make sure that we do follow the plan and we don't get off course? Often, what causes us to get off course is the stimulus that happens to us and whether we react to that or whether we respond to that. Success is responding. Failure is reacting. Failure is when your emotions get involved and you do the very thing you shouldn't have done. Now, if you've been a follower or a subscriber of my channel for some time, check out the video entitled Emotional Mastery, the 3 best rules to help control your emotions. That is going to be critical training as part of this because I want you to understand that our strongest tool you'll ever have access to in this is your non-reactive mind, and that is all about ensuring you don't break your rules. Now I alluded to this in part 1 of the Ultimate Trading Plan Quest series, where I said you have to redefine your rules. So I said, look, our lives are about our values, what's important to us, our beliefs, what we think is important, and our rules. What has to happen, like for us to feel successful, unhappy, whatever. Those things, those taggings that we do, whether we are successful, some people could say, I feel loved if my spouse looks at me and smiles. That makes me feel loved. Other people need a lot more things ticked off before they ever feel loved. People feel unsuccessful and like a complete failure if one of their trades suddenly is heavily in the red. That could be a market movement. Anybody who bought oil this year got screwed. As we now know, WTI crude is sitting on practically $15 a barrel from $65 high on the 8th of January. That's fallen a hell of a long way. And we could even see the price of oil become negative within the next month or 2. That's a kind of a crazy concept, but that happens in the trading world. Making you wrong out of that is completely ludicrous. The only time you're wrong is when you don't follow that plan. And the only time you don't follow that plan is when you've mixed your rules up. So let's get those rules straight. The rule here is I am successful if I follow my plan. I'm a failure if I don't. Regardless of whether you make money or not, you are a success if you follow your plan. I want you to think about this. You have 2 ears, you have 1 mouth. Who in your life is listening unconsciously to everything you say? And I'll answer that for you nice and quick. You are. Every time you come out with something, every time you say something like, oh God, I can't believe I did that, you feel more like a failure. Every time you give yourself supportive commentary, remember your unconscious brain and your conscious brain are in constant communication with each other all the time. The power of mantras in trading cannot be underestimated. And I want to create one for you. So before I trade every day, I have a mantra which I say out loud so my unconscious brain can hear it, respond to it, and it kind of sets the track and it sets the intention of the day. In other words, I get myself set. I get myself right before I come into trading. For those of you who traded before will know that trading is an emotional sport. So I want to make sure you've set yourself up with a routine. I love the idea of you creating a mantra. So a mantra would be something like, I always follow my trading plan, in brackets, the presupposition is you've written one, which is what this whole quest is about. So I always follow my trading plan. I always honor my plan, follow my rules, stick to my stops, limits and entry. And because of that, I like myself. Now think about that for a second. What you are consciously saying out loud that you are unconsciously picking up on is your unconscious brain says, I get to feel great about myself. I get to have a great relationship with myself if I do what I say I'm going to do. Now, let me get you to think about this for a second. What is real human confidence? Confidence is not jumping up and down, beating your chest, thinking rah, rah, rah. Confidence, or your self-confidence, which is one of the most important emotional states in this game, your self-confidence is in direct proportion to your reputation of yourself with yourself. When you love you, when you know you got you, when you know that you've got your back and you don't need anybody else to get your back because you've got the best person in the room who's got your back, meaning you, that is when you are unstoppable. Unstoppable, being able to walk through walls, be able to do what you want to do, comes from you having a great relationship with you. It comes from you trusting you. And the only way you can build your trust with yourself is to do the things you say you're going to do. Hence why you have a trading plan. So you outline, this is what I'm going to do, and then you go do it. You don't deviate from it, you do it. And the more you do that, the more you respect yourself. Yeah, it's a bit uncomfortable to do some of these things in the routine when you aren't used to doing them before. Yeah, it's easier just to roll out of bed and sit behind a trading screen. But if you do that, you will fall foul to the same problems that have scuppered many traders before you. The best traders in the world are those which follow a plan and have a daily routine. I want your daily routine to look like the following. Number one, you've got to get up in the morning, you've got to move that little body of yours a little bit. And some of you have bigger bodies, some of you have little bodies, but the reality is you need to move it and you need to breathe it. And what I mean by that is the day when you first set up in the morning, you've got to move your body in some way. I don't care what it is, a little bit of light exercise, a little bit of yoga, just a little bit of just moving the body, get the blood flowing through the body, and I want you to get used to deep breathing. Now, why do I want you to deep breathe? Because I want you to center yourself first. Before you come into the madness of this, I want you to center yourself first. For those of you that know how to meditate, for those of you that never have meditated, I recommend you do a little meditation in the morning. This should be part of your plan because we've got to get you centered first. Remember, the difference between a fantastic money-making trader and everyone else is he who is in control of himself. He who does what he says he's going to do. He who does not react emotionally to what's happening around him, but centers himself and can respond. If you stick to a plan and can respond to that, it means that you are an emotionally centered place, and that's what we've got to get for you right now. So this is all about starting your day with some meditation, with some yoga, with some deep breathing where you hold your hands around the guts of your belly and you let your diaphragm drop and you really breathe in air and just center yourself and get yourself in a good state before you hit the trading game. I don't want you waking up in the morning with a hangover, knocking a couple of coffees back, kind of not sure of yourself and then just getting rolled over. That is unacceptable. You wouldn't do it as a helicopter pilot. You wouldn't do it of any other responsible job. Don't do it in this. I want you to be centered. I want you to be breathing, deeply breathing. I want a little bit of exercise out of you. I want you to take care of your health and your nutrition. I want what's going up top. I want the chemicals that are going through your bloodstream not to be coursing with cortisol and adrenaline and noradrenaline. I want you to be centered. I want you to be calm. I want you to be focused. I want you to be hydrated. I want you to take a lemon every day. And I want you to squeeze some of that lemon juice in some water and give yourself a good liter of water, good fresh, clean water with some lemon in that. Get yourself centered for the day and write your mantra today. And I want your mantra to be something like, I always follow my trading plan to the T. I always follow my advice on stops, limits, currencies, time horizon, and capital. And I like that about myself. And what you are unconsciously saying and putting out there to yourself, of yourself, is that I like you. In other words, when you're talking to yourself, when you do this. And your brain goes, well, I kind of want to be liked today, because all human beings have two desires. We all want to be loved and we all want to be enough. And you're just meeting both of those for yourself, and no one will love you more than you. So you're saying, look, this is the rules, brain, of how to love yourself, how to feel strong, how to feel secure, how to feel confident. Do this. So the mantra every day before we start. I follow my trading plan to the T. I honor my stops, my limits, and my orders. And I like that about myself. And you just saying it out loud. And you do that with repetition. You do that every day. And your brain gets locked into, okay, baby, this is how we do it. We get ourselves hydrated. We get a bit of move on. We're centered. We're focused. We're clean in our breathing. We're de-stressed. We're calm. Now I can take the markets on. And actually, maybe now is not the time to. Maybe now is the day I sit out of the markets. But whatever happens, whether market conditions are choppy, whether they're volatile, or no matter regardless what they're doing, we've got to get you centered first. So that is really what day 3 or part 3 about this is all about, and it forms part of your trading plan. So the question then for your takeaway on this is, review, did you stick to your plan or did you do something else? So every day when you use your trading plan, you're going to see this in the journaling section that we're going to give you with the plan that you're going to get on day 4, at the end of day 4. If you've made mistakes and you realized you reacted and responded emotionally, and then I want you to block out 60 minutes to work on mastering your emotions, right? And that could just be about centering yourself. That could be reviewing, reflecting on what you've done. But spend time today to create your mantra, redefine those rules, and I want you to put that in the comment section. Now, where do you think your plan still would need improvement is the question I want you to ask yourself. You've got some of the elements now. And in your comments, this is what I wanted to share with everybody on this channel, is what would your best self do differently? Your best self. So imagine the version of you is this, and there's another version of you. What would your best self do in order to rigidly stick to your plan? In other words, there's times in life where you've done things and you've gone, oh God, I can't believe I said that, I can't believe I did that. And there's other times you've gone, yeah, that was me, and you feel really proud. Well, what is the difference between the two? It's clearly you. You can act well and you can act poorly. So what would your best self do to rigidly stick to this plan? I want you to comment on that. I want you to write about that. But most importantly, I want you to realize that there's a couple of things coming at you. There's the trading plan, which you're going to fill out all the details from. And then there is the daily planning journal, which is something you're going to print out, which is going to keep you locked on to your plan and give you this daily routine of planning before the day starts and review and reflection at the end of the day. That's a series of sheets which are the same sheets you print out every day and you just fill out, and it keeps you on course. So listen guys, if you loved today's session, I hope you did, please hit like. There isn't a love button, but like will have to do. Hit subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel already, and get yourself excited about day 4, because day 4 is really where we pull this all together. It's going to be the final part of the trading plan journal. It's going to be the part where you're going to get access to the trading plan itself and the trading plan journal, which I've promised you throughout this Quest series. So I'm really looking forward to giving you access to that. Any questions you have, please get them in the comment fields. Share, discuss, communicate, and I look forward to seeing you in part 4.